Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's Last Post ceremony. My name is Emily Hiles, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Air Force is Squadron Leader Pierre Coutsier. We welcome the veterans that have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. We acknowledge the members of RSL and Services Clubs Association, RSL Victoria and RSL Queensland who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by visitors to the memorial and students on behalf of Prince of Peace Lutheran College from Everton Park in Queensland. If you're able, please stand and join in singing the national anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free, with golden soil.
Students, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we will read the story behind just one of those on our Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths and floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today, we remember and pay tribute to Private Thomas Clifford Adams. Thomas Adams was born on the 4th of May, 1882, in Burnside, South Australia, the eldest son of 8 children born to William and Mary Adams. He received his education at Marryatville Public School and later at Pulteney Street Public School. After completing his schooling, Adams began working as a clerk in Macro and Sons Music Store. He was heavily involved in the local Baptist church and was the secretary of its Sunday school. Adams enlisted in the Australian Imperial Force on the 11th of August 1916 at the age of 35. He was assigned to the 10th Battalion with the rank of private and embarked from Melbourne aboard the troop ship Port Melbourne in late October. He reached England in December 1916, where he spent time training at Durrington Camp before heading to the front in April 1917. He joined his battalion in the front lines later that month, but quickly became unwell. His illness required a stay in hospital, after which he spent time working at brigade headquarters behind the lines. Adams rejoined his unit in Belgium in September 1917. His battalion was preparing for the Third Battle of Ypres, during which they would be required to take the area known as Polygon Wood. Polygon Wood was a significant landmark on the Ypres salient and an essential part of Allied attempts to take Passchendaele. Reached by 1917, the wood had been reduced to burnt stump. German forces had fortified the area with concrete blockhouses, barbed wire, and an observation post, making Polygon Wood a treacherous target for the advancing troops. The 10th Battalion was engaged in fighting around Polygon Wood some days before the actual offensive. Advancing troops were heavily shelled and came under gas attack near Glencore's Wood, which hampered their advance. Private Adams was headed over the top when a shell exploded nearby, fatally wounding him. He was 36 years old. His bereaved parents placed a notice for their late son in a newspaper. "He was not ours, O Lord. Thou hast not done us wrong. We thank Thee for the precious loan afforded us so long." The newspapers described Private Adams as a man of gentle and lovable disposition. He was buried at Hogue, Crater Cemetery in Belgium, where beneath the simple inscription chosen by his parents, "Waiting." His name is listed on the roll of honour on my right, among almost 62,000 Australians who died while serving in the First World War. His photograph is displayed today beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Private Thomas Clifford Adams, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old as those that grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the year condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozières or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of the Director and staff, we thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today and for your continued support of the Memorial's development project. We wish you all a very pleasant evening.